On the clock. Well, not long now until the big event, the main match, the World Cup final gets underway in Yokohama. England against South Africa. What a game that is going to be. Well, England have been going through their final preparations this morning. You can join us tomorrow at 7 a.m. for our build-up on our World Cup breakfast show. But we'll continue our build-up now, and we can cross to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and join a man who's been no stranger to lifting trophies over the last few years. Saracens Captain Brad Barritt. Brad, very good morning to you. We'll get to the rugby in just a moment, but first of all, tell us why a rugby man is in a football stadium.
Good morning, Aaron. Yeah, immensely exciting day here down at the M Cafe at Tottenham Hotspur. We're announcing the coffee partnership between Tiki Tonga Coffee and Tottenham Hotspur. Immensely exciting, as I say, an incredible stadium. And what makes it even more remarkable is Saracens will be playing here on the 28th of March next year. So a great day to celebrate coffee and celebrate sport.
And you mentioned Saracens, and goodness me, they're right through the DNA of that England side. The spine comes from Saracens. You must be so proud of that. Maro Itoje, Owen Farrell, Ben Spencer even being called up. Who in particular has stood out for you from the Saracens players?
Yeah, we're incredibly proud of our players. As to have 8 guys in the England Matchday 23 is an incredible achievement. And we even have one in the South Africans team, in Vincent Koch. But I think in particular during this tournament, Billy's been phenomenal. He's been the pillar of strength at the back of the scrum. He's led from the front. He's carried well. He's defended well. Maro again in the line-out. He's dictated that. He's been destructive at best. And I think Owen's captaincy and the way he's led the team has been remarkable. So across the board, our Saracens players have been the standout players for me. And we're sure the experiences they've had in the Saracens team are going to give them the edge tomorrow.
There is sometimes a danger, and it was mentioned by Warren Gatland, wasn't it, the Wales coach, that he wondered had England already played their final in that incredible performance against the All Blacks. Do you think there's any danger of England having done that already and not being able to take their best form into the last match?
I don't think so. I think we've spoken. You've got 8 guys who've had huge experience in big games. They've played in Grand Slam games. They've played in 3-4 European finals, 6 Premiership finals. So big game experience this English team is littered with. I guess what is different, it's a World Cup final. They're playing against a team that are renowned for their physicality, have a very sort of tight game plan. So again, it's going to be small margins, but I think England do edge it in terms of the experience that they carry in this team.
Yeah, and England can play in several ways, can't they? So what kind of performance, what kind of game plan are you expecting tomorrow? Again,
they've shown in this World Cup that they start really well. I think they put the All Blacks on the back foot from the first 15 minutes. So in terms of going against South Africa, they're going to have to do something similar. I do feel it's going to be a little bit tighter. I think set piece is going to play a huge part in the outcome of this game. England have showed that their scrum's been immensely powerful, but so is the South Africans. But again, the line-out dictated by, Maro Itoje, Jamie George, George Crew when he comes on has been another phenomenon in this World Cup. So I do feel they have the edge there too.
World Rugby have announced their shortlist for Player of the Year. No Saracens players on that list. Perhaps a surprise to you, but Tom Curry is there. He's had an outstanding tournament, hasn't he? And only 21. How big is an achievement is that for him?
Yeah, incredible achievement. I think Tom in particular, Sam Underhill have been a revelation this World Cup, and playing the 2 open sides together has shown that England threat on the ground and at the breakdown has been something that teams couldn't capitalise on and it hasn't been able to deal with. So South Africa have their work cut out this weekend to nullify that threat, and I'm sure as a team, the England team would much rather take home a World Cup trophy than any of the individuals receive an accolade. So I'm sure that'll be the only focus going in this weekend. OK,
and then looking ahead to tomorrow again, clearly the nerves and the anticipation will be in the England camp. You've played in World Cups, you know about all the outside noise. How difficult is it to shut all that out?
You know what, I think a lot of the guys thrive on it. I think when you feel in a big game, you don't want to hide from these fears and anxieties. I think they've got to embrace it, and they showed that last week against the All Blacks. Equally large stage, a team with the reputation that it carried. I think they showed they were able to deal with those nerves and cope with it and thrive in it. So you've seen all the sort of murmurings coming out of the England camp that they're a settled bunch. They're a team that back themselves. They put a lot of pride into their preparation, and ultimately that's everything they can do. So they've left no stone unturned in terms of this performance. And
clearly there is often a lot of focus on the England captain. We haven't spoken about him much, Owen Farrell, so far, but you've watched him develop and improve over the years. How impressed are you with the player that he's become?
Fantastically impressed. I think Owen's proved since he's a young kid that he was born for this. He's a competitor, he's a fighter, he leads from the front, and yeah, it's been a pleasure to share the field with him for 12 years, and I think he's taken that to another level in this World Cup with England.
Yeah, we know, Brad, you were born in South Africa, Durban I think it was, but of course you played international rugby for England, so any sort of mixed emotions in there for you, given that some of your family back home will clearly be supporting South Africa?
Not at all. As I said, I was part of the England setup for 5-6 years. One of the highlights of my career to represent England. My mom was English, my mom was born here, so again, I'll be 100% behind my Saracens teammates and the England boys.
And just finally, tell us where you're going to be watching it tomorrow and what your score prediction is, or perhaps margin of the winning score.
I'll be watching at Allianz Park with some of the Saracens teammates, and I'm predicting it to be tight. I think it's going to be an 8-point game, and I'm going 20-12 England.
20-12 England. OK, there you go. 8 to 10 point game if you want to get your wagers on. Brad, thank you very much indeed for joining us. Have a good day and all the best tomorrow.
My pleasure, Aaron. Thanks a lot. Cheers.
49ers fans were given a Halloween treat overnight. We've got all the action.